Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the weekend. And are you going to invest your units into the Cyber Weekend deals, or are you going to invest them in Banquet? We're going to look at whether or not it's worth investing into one or the other. What we've got is a detailed spreadsheet, which is the link to is in the description, so you can either go and check it out, just give the video a like as well, and we'll go over this, but with a bit more detail. I'll also be adding evidence and context to stuff, so, support the video, watch along, listen along as well. That'd be very much appreciated. So how I look at the Cyber Weekend versus the Banquet event is as follows. I've kind of narrowed this down to some brief descriptions and taglines. The tagline, first of all, is it's a low rewards return for low unit investment, but high return for high investment. Let's kind of further explain that and add a bit more meaning. With a larger cap on rewards volume, you can grab lots of deals. So by spending more than 9k units, you can push further than the Banquet event milestones. This will mean 36k units total investment will pick up extras from solo event. If you invest in 3,600 units, 500 units or 1k units, you don't get very much, do you? Well, in the Banquet event, that is actually different, and Kabam have already helped us out along the way. We're also going to look at pros and cons of both events, so stick with me. The Banquet event, on the other hand, I've kind of put that down to lower unit investment for max return, lower take home for max investment. Meaning, the further you push with this, you're spending an RNG. There are rank rewards, but because it's never predetermined the extent of how much you have to spend unit-wise or money-wise to get yourself up further ranks, it then becomes very difficult year in, year out, and things seem to change. I could predict that you would have to only spend 10,000 to 20,000 units to get a good milestone, a good rank that you got last year, but that may not be the case this year. So we know some things when it comes to the Banquet event this year, and that is that 7-star Awakening gems are available for Valiant and Paragon, which is nice. We don't know to an extent of how much you spend unit-wise as to will you actually get them back. The other thing is we know 7-star Craven is going to be released as an opportunity, but it is ability to awaken him through the web store, which guarantees that he is part of that 36,000 unit solo event, which we had previously with Weapon X. There is another spending option to get Weapon X, but look, you can spend if you want. It's just trying to get it will cost you. Maybe cost you dearly. That sounds like a bit of a threat there. Either way, these Fun in the Sun, sideshow sales, July 4th deals and Cyber Weekend deals, whatever Kabam want to call it, the guarantee. There's a guarantee that you will pick up some stuff that's going to be good. You get a further choice on what you want to pick up. You can see some examples right here from the Sinister Sentinel Sideshow sale for Valiant players back in June, July of this year. There are also guarantees that we all have. We have from the Banquet event, or know we're going to get for the Banquet event. In your game at the moment, we have got the trade-in for the tokens, which of course is part of the Banquet trade-in, whether you're going for the 7-star, 6-star, whatever star it is. You will get some of the tokens. Tokens will be able to be traded in for GBCs. GBC value is likely about 8,400. which of course puts you on the radar to get up some of the milestones. These aren't the milestones for this year, but these are theoretical things as to what you can pick up. If you 8,400 would get you up to, say, the third milestone of the solo, and could get you a bit further up on the alliance, which I don't. It's probably further down. It would be down there, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of the milestones that could get you right off the bat further down there, so that's nice. But there's always pros and cons with the Cyber Weekend versus the Banquet event. One of the great things about this event, is, as I've put here, is that you can get selectors for champions. Having selectors means that you can pick, players can pick. If you're like, I've got 18 to 36,000 units, I've got 5k units, I've got whatever units, you may want to pick like what champion you want if there's an opportunity for that. Probably isn't a lower amount. If you've got like 18,000 units, you'll probably get a chance at selector. That's when it applies, a great option. As well as Nexuses, 7 stars, things that players want to see, as well as tier 6 class catalysts, rank 2 to 3 7-star gems, whatever the current meta is for your different progression. And yeah, there's more resource, rank up resource available for players. The other positive is Kabam is going to put in 7-star Awakening gems, which again is a huge thing. We've been waiting for that for a long time. And then there is other issues with that. There's positives, there's negatives. The negatives would be that lower progressions get sandwiched together, which of course isn't great. And it's unknown whether or not Cyber Weekends 2024 will have in value increase. And of course, you have to spend more units to get up the tiers, especially if Kabam do it in the same structures they've done something, like this. You have to spend more, you have to invest more. And that can be a bit of a problem because you might be like, well, I don't want to invest 36,000 units to get this massive load of value. I'd rather just do a little bit. If you've got 36k right now and you're like, well, half of my units I want for Cyber Weekend and the other half I want for Banquet event, you might feel quite pinched to kind of make a decision. And that, again, is another kind of problem you have to consider. This is where I've put like a value comparison. 36,000 units on the Sinister Sentinel deals got you the 7-star Weapon X, rank 2 to 3 gem times 2, or the worth to that. They were randomized. 22 7-star signatures, 6 7-stars, 2 could be selectors if you chose them, 7 tier 6 class catalysts, and 1 ranked 1 to 2 gem for those that are Valiant. If you compare that with, say, the last year's Banquet event, which of course we had problems with, and Kabam will look to buff it. I'll believe it when I see it, but we'll, got to take that into consideration. In that and how I've kind of like rationaled this is that, yes, you had 120 RNG-based crystals. You don't know what you're going to get. You could, from those 120, get something, or you could get nothing. You get all these milestones, which is great, and you get a good amount of 7-star. Well, no, not a good amount. You got good back then, poor now for 7-star crystals. There were a lot of 6-star based rewards, and the 2 7-star crystals you could get from investing 9,000, well, over 9,000 units, because you'd invest 9,500, and then it's like, actually 9,950, but you'd have to go and invest like a ton more units to get this. Down here was the 3%. One thing I did last year, which we've got here, is the amount of units to what you get points wise. And with an extensive amount of investment, which will be here, that 3% came in, and let's get the calculator up because I think I've already done the calculations for it. Yes, I have. So those 120 crystals times 2,700 points got 324,000. That 324,000 puts the player still here, this 2% to 3%, ending at that 3%. So that's always a tricky one, isn't it? The Banquet event is all about the further you invest, the further you go up. But those rank rewards have to be key. To give you a bit of an idea of the top positions, top 100, 2.4 million points, the equivalent to $8,300 was invested to get to that particular point. That's a crazy amount of investment, whether it's units, whether it's money, to get that. And you have to go right from the milestones or from the rank. Is it actually worth it? Because I'm sure nowadays players wouldn't want to invest 36,000 units just to get a 6-star rare champion selector, 6-star rank up gem 3 to 4, 7-star hero crystals of 2,500, next a 6-star hero crystal, 6-star awakened gem, 6-star signature stone times 5, and a 5-star relic. I'm pretty certain people wouldn't be interested in that. This is why we'll largely see a meta shift with it. So the thought that I want to leave you on is this. Investing a high amount of units gives a better return in something like Cyber Weekend deals. If you have a lot of units, go that way predominantly if you want to guarantee stuff. However, if you want a bit of fun, a bit of RNG, but also invest a little amount of units, and when I say little amount, I'm talking anything from about 9,000 to 12,000 to get all milestones. And do bear in mind, Kabam could add more milestones, which means more unit spending. There's no guarantee with anything that I'm saying that Kabam won't change something, because they have changed it in the past. So that's something you need to consider. Do I want to invest in upwards of 20,000 going up high to 36,000? Probably not. If you were to invest in something like 9,000, it is likely that you will see a 26% to 50% finish point in the Banquet event. What does that give you, have you ask? Well, that will largely see you here. 6-star hero crystal shards, 500s. Look, that will change. Kabam will buff that, but we don't know how they're going to buff that. And the unknowing is the scary part. So it's either you take the leap of faith and go, right, 9,000 units saved for the Banquet event and focusing on that, or you take some guarantees and get some stuff that's going to be beneficial for your roster. If you're if you're desperate to improve your roster, go up ranks, go up progressions, then you might want to go Cyber Weekend. But if you want a bit of fun and a lower unit investment to then see what you want to do in the future and some questionable RNG maybe, then go to the Banquet event. I'm doing the Banquet event. I'm investing 20 to 25,000 units into it, probably about 24,000 when I'm done, and I'm just gonna have a bit of a good time and then focus in next year on House is done, and I can then enjoy my life a bit more and get grinding in MCOC and Marvel Rivals. Anyway, thanks for watching. You can check out my Marvel Rivals content in the center. And yeah, what are your thoughts on where you're investing? Are you investing one or the other way? Put it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye for now, and have a lovely weekend.